back from the track. The whole purpose of the track yesterday was just trying to see how fast we can go on the same final drive and the same power level. Currently, I think we're like 450, 500. We're on like 17 pounds on like pump gas. So it's like nothing crazy. That's why the passes were kind of slow. So we went quarter mile one time or two times, I think, last year, and we were running out of gear right before the traps. So I got a final drive from FF Trans. It's a 4.0 final drive, so it should give me enough gear set or enough gear to be able to go fast enough. Because I think right before the traps, like, I don't even know, like 100 feet before the trap, we ran out of gear in fourth. And fourth is only like 127, I think. Because they're still on stock final drive, which is the TSX final drive. So what is that, a 4.7, I think? So this is a 4.0. And I got a straight cut one, so it's stronger and all that stuff. So we're going to pull the trans out. I got my buddy Dawson and fucking dickhead here. He's gonna help us out. And we're gonna pull the trans out, and I'll show y'all that once I get it opened up. All right, got this sucker pulled out the car. Well, alright guys, I guess that's the end of the video right now until I figure out what's going on. Alright guys, so this is the next day. I took the final drive gear off of my stock diff and it like pulled all the threads out. I'm not sure why. I mean, I torqued it to regular spec and everything. So it is what it is. I don't know. Some of these diffs use longer bolts, some of them use shorter bolts. Whether it's LSD or not. So I don't know if maybe I used a long bolt by accident, but a lot of people say that you can't even bolt it down. So I think I had the right bolts. Torqued it down to OEM spec, but when I took it apart, they pulled the threads. So anyway, so the diff is trash. So today I actually found a in-factory diff a couple counties over from me. So we're good to go. And I got some short bolts because you need the short ring gear bolts for these So yeah, so got some new Honda bearings. We're gonna throw on here in my press, and then we're gonna get this ring gear put on, and then we gotta assemble the counter shaft. We still gotta disassemble the other one and get that one put on. So here we go. All right, well, there it is, guys. So if anybody was wondering, Pro Demand says 89 foot-pounds for these. That's what we torch them to. All right, guys, so we got the case all cleaned up, this put together, that put together, everything's ready to go. I got some new to me shift forks right there, because I think we bent the other ones. I don't know for sure. So one thing we do have to modify is this bearing retainer, because the counter shaft gear is so thick it just barely catches this retainer. So all right, guys, we're back. It's the next day. Had a lot of jobs today, so don't have a whole lot of time to work on this. So anyway, I don't know where we left off yesterday. I actually found a couple of issues in here, and I have some ideas on why I keep bending forks, or it won't let me no lift shift and all that stuff, which I've already fixed, but I'll try to explain it a little bit. So this input shaft is supposed to just slide down into this bearing, and it's supposed to be just like easy in and out. And as you could tell in the part of the video where I was taking it apart, I had to use a freaking pry bar to get this thing out. It just fit really tight. So I talked to a couple guys, read some things online, and I guess M Factory had some issues. And I didn't really notice this when I first put this trans together, because I really didn't like take it in and out a bunch of times. Or I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice it. But anyway, this input shaft is supposed to have a certain amount of play in and out in the casing. So pretty much what was going on was when I checked the in play on this, it was basically just showing the movement in the bearing and not actually the shaft like sliding up and down. Because see how easy it is to pull out now? Before I had to like use a pry bar. So I think it was just like not enough play in there, or maybe this was just stuck and it wasn't allowing it to move up and down for that amount of clearance that they want it to be. So I pretty much, this probably isn't the right fix for it, but I use my mic and all that stuff, made sure it's round. But I had to take some sandpaper to this really lightly, and wet sand a little material out of it so it would slide in and out better. It wasn't a lot. It was I don't remember the measurement, but it was bad. It was like really stuck. And I tried multiple bearings. I have a whole stack of parts and crap from a bunch of transmissions we took apart, and I probably got 4 of these bearings that I tried just to make sure that it wasn't like the bearing being distorted or anything. So it was definitely the shaft for sure, because some people online said that they had the same issue, and they took it to a machine shop and had it shaved and all that crap. But I didn't do that, and we're good. So we'll see. We're gonna put the top case on here. We're gonna check the in-play just to make sure it's all good. I need to check the clearancing on the new diff, and that should be it. And then we can stick it all back together and put it in the car And then hopefully this week we'll be getting on the dyno to actually get this thing turned up now that we have a final drive that we won't break. Other than the 5th and 6th gear, that is the last factory thing in here as far as gears. So I'm not really that worried about the car anymore as far as the drivetrain. Because like I said before, we're only at like 450, 500. We're just street tunes. I really don't know what it makes, but there was really no point to even turn the car up anymore because we were, for one, running out of gear, and for two, I wasn't trying to grenade the factory final drive that we had. So anyway, so now that we got that, we're going to turn it up and we're going to see what the built motor does, because I've been really excited to put this thing on E85 and turn it up and see what it actually does, because it should be able to hold a lot more than what we're making now. So let's get this thing back together. Like I said, we'll check the end plane, all that stuff, and we'll get back together. Alright guys, got the trans back in. I'm gonna finish this up tomorrow. Gotta finish up bolting up the mid plate. I got all the mounts done, so just gotta do the mid plate and then just button up all the lines, put the charge pipe back on and everything, cables back on, and just button it up. Alright guys, so we got the whole car buttoned back up, and now we're just gonna add the trans fluid. We're gonna try this stuff this time. A lot of people recommended this. I couldn't find the Torco brand and I didn't want to order it, so a lot of people recommended this, so we're gonna try that, and let's go for a little drive after we get this thing going. All right guys, first drive on the new diff and final drive. Wanted to make sure it was all good before I started videotaping. This thing is crazy, bro. It sounds like I'm in reverse, like at all times. It just whines like crazy. The transmission feels way smoother than it was, so I think we fixed a lot of issues. And the clutch and everything just feels a lot more aggressive, so it's going to be be hard to get used to, you know, taking off and all that stuff. Which, I mean, this ain't really a street car. I drive it on the street, but it ain't really much a street car anymore. So this thing is like really aggressive. My gas pedal on this thing's a little stiff too, so it's not really the smoothest thing to drive. Feels really good though, so see how it goes on the dyno here soon. I'm not sure if we're gonna start off street tuning or if we're gonna get on the dyno. I really want to get on the dyno and see a number. This whole time we've just been street tuning, so I really don't even know what the car makes. But all the gears seem to work, so. Let's get this thing back in the driveway. Alright guys, I guess I need to wrap up this video because I forgot to do that on the last video. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Trans back in the car, drove it, it's good. It's way better than what it was before. Like I said, I found a lot of stuff in the trans that I needed to fix. Some of it was kind of weird, but anyway, we got it fixed. The next video will be hopefully maybe tomorrow or Friday. We're gonna get on the dyno with Steve De La Cruz, and we'll see what it does. So now that the trans is upgraded, and well, now the diff is, and the final drive, I don't feel that worried about turning it up now. So we'll see.